Okay, here we are with the latest, and I haven't done this in a while, the latest version of the conspiracy files. Let's see what I've discovered today. I haven't discovered anything much, but I have discovered a question. Just a little question in my mind. Now, whether it's induced by microwave or not, who knows? What I'm talking about, I just read a article from when I got home from work from the Mail, the Daily Mail Online, from the United Kingdom. And the article was about are U.S. government microwave mind control tests causing TV presenters brains to melt down. I thought, well, that's interesting. Okay, another story. Well, let's look into it. So basically, we've had at least 3 high-profile people, 2 in the United States and 1 in Canada. Judge Judith Scheinland, who frankly I can't stand, apparently started speaking or spouting gibberish and went to the hospital. So, okay, weird. But it's been happening all over. So I wanted to let's just do this quick, and then you can decide what you think might be going on. Now, I have 3 things I want you to hear. The first one is by a major reporter here in the United States during the Grammy Awards, and you might have already seen this on YouTube or some other places, or possibly watched it live. I don't watch TV, so I didn't see it live. I rarely watch TV. But her name is Serene Branson. There goes that frog in my throat. Serene Branson. And this was her
coverage we're seeing for the very first time. Serene.
Well, a very, very heavy debatation tonight. We had a very Darrison by, let's go ahead, Terry's English for the bit.
Now that was incomprehensible. She complained of a headache, some sort of a migraine. Well, let's go to the Canadian guy here. There's a little run into it. The news is on, and they're showing it.
Meaning it may have only just begun. Mark McAllister, Global News. Now, Defense Minister McLeod did confirm today that more than 54 18 fighter jets are spending about as much as 20 and ready to assist the 100 deployed over the announced needed. Now, it did depend that how the NOLAN remerges RN while the university or the UN mission as whole received support from all batteries in the hues of the gardens of today. Excuse me. I'll hand it back to you.
Thank you, Mark McAllister from Japan tonight. Newly released video is providing a shocking...
So, that is weird. And he also complained of a migraine that happened. So I got to remembering this evening about something that happened to the President of the United States. I got to call him President. Don't want to call him President, but I do. I have to. That's the way America works. Do y'all remember this?
Everybody knows that it makes no sense that you send a kid to the emergency room for a treatable illness like asthma. They end up taking up a hospital bed. It costs you gave him treatment early, and they got some treatment and a breathalyzer or an inhalator, not a breathalyzer.
I need to say breath.
I haven't had much sleep in the last 48 hours, so.
Now that's interesting. That's more than like Dan Quayle when he was with the kids and miscorrected a student, or corrected a student improperly, thinking that potato in the singular had an E at the end of it. They were spelling it wrong. That's everybody has that. And everybody might say something like, like Dr. King, when he had that speech where he said, it's 1,200 miles. And then he said, not miles, he said rather, and then he corrected himself. I mean, you have a little fupa here and there. But this sort of sudden, and if you watch that, and you watch those other things, this sudden delirium, or whatever it is, total confusion, is odd. It's very odd. Now, if that's happening to, I wonder if they said, let's see if it works on the new president here, or the president, whenever he gave that speech. Let's see if it works on him. Let's just hit him for a few seconds and see what happens. And then you think about the sudden masses of people in the Middle East. The Middle East, they're hitting me now. No, see, that's a normal thing. I misquoted something and bounced right back. In the Middle East, the uprisings are nearly without explanation. How many countries at once can have these uprisings? Maybe they're experimenting with some sort of a microwavable device that can be crowd control. Former Governor Jesse Ventura, former Minnesota governor, I believe, had a thing, a show that involved part of this, where they put a thing to his head, and it was actually planting images or voices into his brain, and he was blown away by that. He was amazed. How can that happen? Is it possible it's being done remotely? Cell towers are everywhere. Are they just for cell phones? Thank God I don't own one of those cell phones. I won't own one. But maybe it doesn't matter, because there's one right, over here, less than, I got a neighbor, there's a neighbor over here, and across the street, and then there's another neighbor, there's a business, and I can see the tower if I looked around over here out my window. Now, these are microwavable, these are towers that have microwave. They're based on microwaves. Think about it. It's really weird. I'm not saying it's happening or not. I just thought that that's something that would be an interesting thing to think about if you get bored tonight. And I often feel like I'm bored, but I never really am, because I always stumble on something, and I'm always reading something, or I'm always looking something up. And so while I think I'm bored, it actually leads to all kinds of speculation, and I'm garnishing certain knowledge, casting aside knowledge I thought was right sometimes, learning new things all the time. Interesting enough, by the way, just on a side note, just news-wise, I thought it was interesting that they found radiation samples from Japan in the middle of our country, in Illinois, in grass and air samples. That's for later.